board meeting. Ms. Covere could, at 7 o'clock p.m. Ms. Covere, could I please have a roll call?
Andrea Jordan is absent. Shaquille Ali.
Here.
Eileen Policarpio.
Here.
Anthony Sujisaka is absent. Aaron Rashba.
Here. All right. It's now time for the Pledge of Allegiance, and I would like to invite all of the students, many students who we're so fortunate to have tonight, to come up to the podium and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
Put your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, and liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right. Item 4, approval of the agenda.
I'd like to move that we approve the agenda.
Second the motion.
I have a motion and a second. This is a voice vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Unanimous. The agenda is approved. Okay. Item 5, public hearing. We have a public hearing on proposed adoption of developer fee study and increase of statutory school facilities fee. The governing board of the Jefferson Elementary School District will consider input from the public on the proposed adoption of a developer fee justification study for the district and an increase in the statutory school facilities fee established by the district against residential construction and reconstruction at $5.38 per square foot and against new commercial or industrial construction at 87 cents a square foot as approved by the State Allocation Board on January 28th, 2026. So I would like to open this hearing at 7:03 p.m. Ms. Covere, do we have any speakers on this hearing?
There are none.
Okay. Well, hearing that, I close the public hearing at 7:03 p.m. Okay. We are very fortunate tonight to have 3 special presentations. We've got a lot of students here representing winners and families from our STEM fair. We have a presentation from Ben Franklin School, and we have a presentation from Thomas R. Policita School. So I want to start with the JESD STEM, Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics Fair. And I'd like to invite the STEM Fair facilitators, Ms. Aubrey Duffy, principal at Franklin D. Roosevelt School, and Mr. John Hopkins, vice principal at Fernando Rivera Intermediate School, who will give a presentation on and acknowledge the participants and winners in the JESD STEM Fair.
Good evening, board members and superintendent. We had the pleasure of coordinating this year's JESD STEM Fair, and we're excited to show a quick overview of the event and celebrate the incredible work of our students. So the goal of the STEM Fair is to promote scientific inquiry and engineering design, connect classroom learning to real-world applications, and encourage students to explore creativity, curiosity, and innovation. This year, students from across the district investigated questions that interested them, designed experiments, collected data, and presented their findings. Walking through the projects, you could see the students had been deeply engaged in the scientific process, developing hypotheses, testing ideas, and explaining their results with confidence. District-wide coordination was a key part of of making the STEM fair successful. Each campus had a site-based STEM coordinator, and together we shared timelines, project guidelines, and communication with families so that students across the district had consistent expectations and support. Some schools also held site-level judging before the district showcase, which helped prepare students to present their work district-wide and celebrate scientific thinking at every level. Before turning it over to John, I also want to thank the incredible site coordinators and teachers who supported students through this process. Their guidance, encouragement, and time made it possible for students to take on challenging questions and see their ideas come to life. John will now share a little bit more about the scale of this year's fair and highlight some of the outstanding projects from our students.
All right. So yeah, this year we had a huge a participation number in our science fair, which is really exciting. We had over 270 projects, and it was a wide array. It was a wide array of different topics. From the younger grades, we had bacteria versus toothpaste, right? All the way to 8th graders, studying the molecular models of compounds and molecules, right? So it was a really nice variety of topics. The kids really did a lot of good research. So without further ado, we want to congratulate our winners. So in just like a minute, we're going to have the board members call the winners' names, and they're going to come up and receive their awards. So it's very exciting. So I just want to, again, say congratulations to all the winners, and you guys did a really good job. Also, congratulations to the parents who undoubtedly helped out with some of the science fair projects. So give yourselves a pat on the back as well. All right, we'll turn it to the board.
Terrific. Thank you for the presentation. I would now like to open it up to my fellow trustees for any questions or comments, starting on my right with Trustee Ali.
Well, just, congratulations to all the staff and the students and the parents, too, that supported the students. Technology is important. The future of our students in those careers can get honed in these early ages. So I'm really excited to be a part of giving out these awards tonight.
Thank you. Trustee Policarpio.
Same, congratulations. I love seeing over 270 participants. That's an amazing number. I also love seeing those trifold poster boards. Those just bring it back. So I'm glad that we still have some of that old school feel with the poster boards and walking around and seeing how, kids use glue and paper still. So that's really cool too. But congratulations to all that were involved in this. Like it's really amazing to see kids really use their hands for more than just slime that gets in everyone's carpet, but to really see them use their brains and how they can see cause and effect of things. So congratulations to everybody.
Thank you. Yeah, I had the great pleasure of attending, and it was just wonderful to walk through the MURs at Fernando Rivera and Thomas Edison. Thanks to both of those schools for hosting, and just see it full of these trifold poster boards and see the questions, that students came up with. And I loved seeing that, they proved, they disproved, they had were inconclusive and just that scientific inquiry at work. I really want to thank Ms. Duffy and Mr. Hopkins for coordinating everything, and I want to thank all of the STEM coordinators who worked within their schools. So at this point, we are going to call up the student winners, and we have a prize for you. So I'm going to start with the kindergarten and first grade winners. Trustee Ali.
So certificate of first place is awarded to Kai Tai Realtor. All right, next is Miss Audra Kelly's class, first grade. This is for the class. You're welcome.
And I have Mia Almeida, third grade at Tobias. Aaron C. at fifth grade at Thomas Edison. And Bruce Tran, sixth grade at FDR. Congratulations.
All right, next we have for first place, Ashley Vasquez Rivas from Ben Franklin, seventh grade. And Bessan Isbe from seventh grade, Ben Franklin. First place.
All right. And I have first place, also seventh grade from Ben Franklin School, Maya Muharram. Okay. Seventh grade from Ben Franklin School, Annette Hernandez. That was a first place award, by the way. They all have first place awards. And finally, last but not least, first place for eighth grade from Ben Franklin School, Victoria Hui. Congratulations to all the winners and participants and their families. Okay, well, at this point, we have a presentation from Ben Franklin School, and I'd like to invite Mr. Ben Turner, principal and representatives from Ben Franklin School to present highlights from their community service program.
I'll wait for the group to come behind me. So first off, thank you guys for having me here. I'm Ben Turner, the principal at Ben Franklin. And this year we decided to bring community service to Ben Franklin. So the rationale for this, as you can look up there, it aligns with our district vision of civic excellence. We enhance student outcomes in college and career readiness. It promotes positive school climate and student engagement. And it supports whole child development. Okay? Now, the rollout, we wanted to do something and we wanted to make sure that we got it right. So we are not calling it a requirement, but it is an expectation. Year one, eighth grade students, it's 5 hours. Next year, our eighth grade students, the expectation will be 10 hours of community service, and seventh grade students, it'll be 5 hours. The year after, obviously you can see, it ramps up 15, 10, and 5. It is an expectation. Right now, we are expecting all students to complete it. When students have asked, do I have to? No. But when we talk about the rationale for why we want them to do it, all of them say, absolutely, we'll do it. So we basically have a myriad of different activities that they can do. It ranges from students going to a dog shelter or animal shelter and helping out there, to helping out at different nonprofits, to different clubs like the one that we have behind us, to different school events. The one that we're going to be working on hopefully for next year is having students getting credit for mentoring and tutoring on Wednesdays, whether that is peer mentoring or tutoring for students. We also, on the flip side, want to have some of our newcomer students get credit for doing community service by maybe teaching Spanish to some of our teachers or other students, because our teachers definitely need it. When we talk about logging activities, not only doing the activity, but also having a reflection on it is key. So, we do ask students to, fill it out, have somebody sign off on it, and then really answer the question, how did your contribution benefit the community? Okay? Reading some of them so far, it's interesting. We do pick up a lot of garbage, so that, beautifying the community is definitely, they really enjoy that. But beyond that, I think you're going to hear some wonderful things that happened here from our Community Compass Club. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to our Community Compass Club led by Anaya, Alexis, and Juliana, as well as our counselor, Miss Bridget Rudolph. I'll do the clicking. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Juliana, and I'm a member of the Community Compass Club. These are the other members.
Hi, my name's Anaya. I'm Alexis.
And we actually have two other members that couldn't make it tonight, Liliana and Sarah. But we actually thought of the idea of a community service club back in 7th grade before Mr. Turner even proposed having community service hours for us. And so we went to Miss Bridget, and this year we're really happy to, be able to have our club. The goal is to not only encourage students to, get their hours in, but also just as people to help out their community, the environment and the people. And we've actually had a few projects over the last few months that Anaya can tell you about.
Hi, my name's Anaya, and some of the projects that we've done is community campus cleanups where students help clean school spaces, including Ben Franklin and Garden Village. And as you can see, these are the before and after of what we cleaned. This is so we could live in a cleaner community and help promote responsibility and pride in keeping our environment clean. And other ones we've done is Lindamar Beach Cleanup, where we partnered with Pacific Beach Coalition to remove trash and debris from the beach. This helps to protect the marine life and keep the coastal line clean for the community. We also wanted to make the beach safe and enjoyable for the community. One that we did in December was a holiday toy drive for the Ronald McDonald House, where students and families donated almost 300 toys for families staying at the Ronald McDonald House while their children were in the hospital. We hope to bring comfort and holiday cheer to the children and families in need and that are going through tough situations with their child.
More projects that we have done is that several students baked and donated holiday treats for people served by City Hope. We help to show appreciation and kindness to community members during the holidays during their dinner service. In fact, one of our bakers actually baked you each a treat similar to what he baked for City Hope. Oh, okay. Okay.
You can bring it up.
Are you guys gonna come with me? Oh, okay. Oh, okay, so you just,
It's like Shark Tank, you get something to eat.
oh, okay. Our most recent project is when we took 15 students down to San Francisco's Tenderloin and helped serve during their dinner at Glad Memorial Church. We helped support efforts that provided almost 250 meals and services to people experiencing hardship in the city. Some students worked the line and plated food while others served the food. Others bussed and cleaned tables. It was actually really fun. Oh, okay, that's it.
So you can see that we've gotten a lot done so far already. We have a couple other things we're going to do for the rest of the year. That's right, it's okay. Maybe another beach cleanup. Maybe we were hoping for another food drive or something along those lines. But I just want to say I'm super, super proud of not just the Community Compass ladies, but also so many of our Ben Franklin students have totally stepped up. And it's been so amazing to see them just roll up their sleeves and do stuff for other people without really being asked. And I mean, it is something that they're required-ish, but at the same time, they're doing it. Yeah, they're doing it, and they're happy to do it while they're there. So anyway, we're just really proud. So thank you.
Questions? Anyone have questions? Any questions?
let me start on my left this time with Trustee Policarpio for any questions or comments.
Did you guys bake these?
Yeah, so this was one of he was in the picture holding. one
Oh,
of
yes,
them.
uh-huh.
He did a couple dozen for City Hope, so we asked him if he would make some for tonight. So this is an example of what we gave to the clients at City Hope in San Francisco.
I love that. That's amazing. Kudos to you guys, really. Like, I love that you took the credit that you deserve, that you had this already as a thought in your head, and then it came, and so you three are the perfect ones to head up this club. And I mean, you guys did so much stuff already, and I know the year's not done. And so cleanup, I know windy days, everyone's garbage gets all over the street, and I know those are probably big cleanup days for you guys. And I love that you were giving back to the children in the hospital. Like, those are just some of the hardest times that anybody could go through, and to see other kids of your age with compassion and to do that and to really just give, I'm going to cry too, but that is just amazing. Like, I love that for you guys. And also glad with just serving. So you guys aren't just picking and choosing a lane and deciding to go there, but you are diversifying it across from different parts of the community and different types of people and different types of help that others might need. So along with that, you're just spreading your joy. So kudos to you. You guys are amazing, and glad that this is what our generation is building.
You all should be very proud of yourselves. I'm proud of you. I'm sure your families are. This is great, and I just wanted to know why did you want to start this club?
Well, honestly, it was for a few reasons. Like, just, as teenagers, sometimes it feels kind of stagnant because you're not old enough to go out and get a job, but also you're aware of the world around you. So it just felt really meaningful to be able to go out and do something.
Anybody else? No. Okay. She spoke very well for you. So this is very, impressive, right? The vocabulary, the drive that they have, the initiative that they took. They didn't wait for the principal to, ask them to do community service. So I commend you all, and I was just really excited to see how you expanded beyond the boundaries of Daly City, Colma, and Broadmoor. And you went to Pacifica, you went to San Francisco, and you have courage to go down to Glide and to be in the Tenderloin. I'm a San Francisco native, so I can say that. And so keep it up. Keep doing what you're doing. Doing something for someone else is a good way to keep yourself happy. So thank you.
Yeah, great presentation. I have one question. I love with the logs that you not only wrote down what you did, but the reflection. And I was just curious if any of you had anything that surprised you in what you wrote in your reflections.
Wait, what was the question?
What, if anything, surprised you in the reflections that you wrote?
I think not really, because we really wanted to help out the community and give back to the people and the community and just make it cleaner and the environment safer.
I don't really think anything surprised me because I feel like it's just been something that I've wanted to do for a while. So, yeah.
Well, like my fellow trustees, I was really impressed with your presentation. I'm really impressed that the club was student-led and driven, and you've really inspired your fellow classmates at Ben Franklin, and I think really set a model for how we could do service at the middle school level, and just such a great thing to be involved with. A lot of people ask kind of, what's the purpose of school, right? So it's to get an education. Yes, it's to prepare you to hopefully go on to employment and college, but I really think a lot of it's about being a better citizen, learning how to live in the world, and you guys, you and your classmates have just had such great real-world experiences at many very important organizations that all depend on volunteers like you. So keep it up. I'm going to commend you for all your work, and thanks to Mr. Turner, Ms. Rudolph, and everybody involved with this great program. So, wait, we have certificates for you. So I'm going to ask my fellow trustees. Go ahead.
I have Juliana Grace Villamore, Certificate of Appreciation. And I know you mentioned Sarah wasn't here, so I can give this to you, Mr. Turner, before you go.
Okay, so for participation in the flag ceremony and the special presentation, Inaya Noor Saeed. And for the flag ceremony and special presentation, this goes to Alexis Ortiz.
And finally, I have a certificate of appreciation for Leliana Aurelio. All right, thank you, Ben Franklin. And last but not least, our final student presentations will come from Thomas R. Policita. I want to call up Ms. Megan Jennings, principal, and representatives from the Thomas R. Policita School, who will present highlights from their Phil-Am Enrichment and Equality Clubs.
Good evening, trustees, district, JESD staff, and families. My name is Megan Jennings, and I'm the very proud principal at Policita. I am excited to be here tonight and to share two special groups we have at school, our Equality Club and our Phil-Am Club Enrichment. So our agenda, things we'll discuss, our commitment to equity and the school-wide impact. Ms. Katie Getz, our school counselor with some students, will talk about our Equality Club, and Ms. Liano with our students will talk about our Phil-Am Culture Club Enrichment, and then we'll talk a little bit about our next steps for both of these clubs. Our school-wide equity impact, three main things we're focusing on this year. We're increasing student participation in affinity and enrichment groups. As some of you know, middle schools got enrichments last year, and we've really broadened them and changed things up and really listened to what students were asking for. So we're happy to bring the Phil-Am Club to TRP this year. Also having more cultural events integrated into our school community. And every year we take the Panorama survey. Some of you, that's a little plug. You can still take yours by Friday. But our students take the survey as well, and we were hoping to see a stronger sense of belonging reported in our student surveys by the end of this school year. So just a couple focus points for these clubs before I pass it off. Our Equality Club focuses on inclusion, empathy, and belonging for all of our students. It gives students a voice to discuss fairness, kindness, and how to support one another across differences. The work they do helps create a campus culture where students feel safe to be themselves and empowered to stand up for others. Our Phil-Am Club Enrichment provides a space for students to celebrate culture, history, and identity. Through student-led activities, discussions, and events, students learn about Filipino heritage while building pride in themselves and respect for others. For many of our students, this club has become a place where they feel seen, valued, and confident in sharing who they are. Together, these clubs support our school's mission by developing leadership and strengthening student voice and fostering a school community that is rooted in respect, understanding, and unity. I'm incredibly proud of our students here tonight and our staff for leading this work and very grateful for the support that allows these clubs to thrive on our campus. Tonight we have students and staff here who are going to share these special programs with you. And I'll first introduce Ms. Katie Getz, one of our TRP amazing counselors, and our Equality Club leader alongside two of our Equality Club students.
Thank you, board members. I'm Katie. I'll invite my two student representatives up with me as well. I saw a need for this club last year when I started at TRP. It started out very small with about 5 students meeting once a week at lunchtime. just to talk about issues that are faced specifically by LGBTQ students in middle schools, and as a supportive place for them and their allies. And we've grown to having about 20 students joining us weekly. We've had an opportunity to go to a field trip this year and last year with other members of JESD, as well as people across the county from different middle schools. If you'll go to the next slide. We started out with 20 students representing TRP last year and 6 students from Fernando Rivera. This year we had representatives from Ben Franklin join us, and more students from Fernando Rivera, and we'd love to see even more students go next year, and just increase the ability for our students to really see themselves in each other and to find a good supportive group of peers. We do a lot of work with understanding what the issues are in our school day to day and problem solving. And I'll turn it over now to Violet, who will share a little bit, and then to Lorelei.
Hi, good evening, members of the board. My name is Violet. I'm a 7th grader at TRP, and I'm here today to talk about our Equality Club. Equality Club is a place where students can come together to support kindness, respect, and fairness to everyone. In our meetings, we talk about standing up for our peers, equity, and safety. Middle school can sometimes feel hard or lonely, and clubs like ours help students find confidence in their community and confidence. Equality Club isn't about dividing people, it's about bringing each other together. It helps students learn empathy, learn to listen to different perspectives, and stand up for each other. My favorite part about Equality Club is having access to an outlet to be with people and socialize with my friends. Thank you for your time. Next up is Lorelei.
Hello everyone, my name is Lorelei and I'm an 8th grade student at TRP. I'm here to talk about why our LGBTQ club is important. Students come to our club to feel supported, have fun, feel seen, and hang out with friends. It's a place where people can feel understood, meet new people, and feel safe being themselves. We're building a community where students can talk about what they're going through and help solve problems together. I believe all middle schools should have a club for LGBTQ students because it creates a space where people can gather and share their experiences. They can also find others with same interests and realize they're not alone. Some kids get bullied just because they don't like the same gender or don't feel like they're assigned sex. That's not okay. I want our school to have a safe space where students don't have to worry about being judged or hurt. Our club makes our school kinder, stronger, and more accepting. Thank you for listening. Up next, Ms. Leano, TRP math teacher and Phil Amp enrichment leader.
Good evening. My name is Beverly Leano, and thank you for having us come here today. Can I invite, oh, they're already here. Great. If you're looking up at this screen, this year we started a PhilAm, Filipino American Club Enrichment, and our goal is to celebrate Filipino culture, heritage, and community pride. We did a lot of things you can see in the bullets there. We did some research and shared some information during Filipino American History Month in October. We made hallway posters, we made announcements in the morning for the school community to learn a little bit about history of, not only about the Philippines, because many of our students also want to learn about the actual country and where it is and what goes on in the Philippines, but also Filipino Americans as we have immigrated to the United States and what that is like for us here, and then Daly City. So there's a big wide range of viewpoints that we've kind of touched upon in the club, and we meet only 30 minutes a day, but we are able to do all of these things. One of our big highlights was taking a field trip to the Kapwa Cultural Center, which is very local. We walked there, and we learned a little bit of some serious things about Filipino mental health issues. especially in California and in Daly City. And so that was something that was new information for all of us, for me too. And so that's something that we probably want to explore a little bit in the future. I'm a math teacher too, so I had to do some research and see what percent of students in our community are Filipino identifying. And so 16% of our staff members identify as Filipino and 24% of our students, so almost a quarter of our school identifies Filipino. So we find it to be important to do this work. We did a little reflection at the end of our first term, and you can see the bigger the word on my word cloud there was something that was important to the kids in that group. And so culture came out to be the biggest. Tagalog, I mean, we learned a little bit of basic Tagalog. Food shows up very big. And so you're gonna see in my next slide, not yet, but you'll see why food always brings us together, many people, but Filipinos especially. And so I love the quote at the top. Those are from kids. It's important to learn about culture so they won't forget about their history. And being Filipino means a lot, and I love being Filipino. So the next one. And of course, we had to have a potluck at the end. Filipinos eat and share food to foster unity and social connection. And we did have a lot of snacks. I don't know if they'll allude to it there. We tried a bunch of different kinds of snacks, and I think we will all share some today too. But we did have a potluck, and it was great at the end. I'm going to turn it over to our awesome students, and first up is EJ.
Good evening. I'm EJ, a 7th grade student at Policita. The Filipino American Enrichment Program taught me about Filipino immigration stories and how Filipino Americans have contributed to healthcare, the military, and the arts. I learned how strong and resilient my community is. My favorite part was getting merienda, like pandesal, helping me feel more at home with friends that didn't just feel like classmates, but rather family. I hope our school keeps supporting programs like this because it's so important to learn about our culture and to meet other people from the Filipino community. Thank you for your time.
If I may interrupt for a second, we have a little more time that we need to add.
I move that we give them more time.
Second.
We have to say how much time? How much time do you need? Okay, I move that we give them 5 more minutes.
Second. All those in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Please continue.
Hi, my name is Ari, and I'm in 6th grade, and I'm proud to talk about the Filipino American Enrichment at Policita. There I learned about Filipino holidays, language, and cultural traditions that are celebrated both in the Philippines and here in the United States. It helped me understand how much Filipino cultures are valued here. Something I liked most when we were working on group projects was just collaborating with others and participating in fun activities like going to our field trip. In the future, I hope our school continues to celebrate diverse cultures. Thank you.
Good evening, board members. I'm Lei Ann. I'm a 7th grader who was born in the Philippines, and I moved to the United States when I was 3. In the Filipino American Enrichment Program, I learned about what it's like to be a Filipino in Daly City. When I was in the Philam Club, I shared what it was like when I lived in the Philippines, including the traditions like Burr months. By the way, the Burr months are when the people in the Philippines celebrate Christmas starting in the month of September. My favorite part was learning about my culture since I lived most of my life in the U.S. I was able to learn more about the Philippines and share my family traditions. I hope our school continues to expand cultural programs like this because it's important for students to learn more about our Filipino community. Thank you.
Hello, good evening, members of the school board. My name is Kian, and I'm a 7th grader at TRP Policita. Today, I want to share more about the Filipino American Enrichment Program. Through this program, I learned more about Filipino history and our cultural values like respect, family, and community. What I liked best was the traditional snacks and the fun activities that intertwine Filipino history and our culture. I hope this program continues more because I want my fellow peers to experience the same activities and snacks and learn more about our Filipino culture. Thank you for your time, and I would like to hand the mic over to Ms. Jennings.
All right, amazing job, everybody. So just to wrap things up, kind of our next steps here and what we hope to happen with these clubs. When the students were asked what they wanted for the future of the Equality Club, students wanted more games, more activities, more frequent meetings, currently it's once a week, and more opportunities to teach others about LGBTQ plus history and what it means to be inclusive. When it comes to our Phil-Am enrichment, since this is an enrichment and students change 2 times in the year, so we've had about 25 students in the first half and now 25 students in the second semester, we're hoping that this will continue as the years move on. We also hope to partner with Susan B. Anthony next year since they're so close to us and just work together to plan events that involve both school communities. We have a lot of overlapping families. So again, finally, we want to just continue fostering all of these connections in our school community. I'm so proud to be a part of this school community. And to end, we also have goodies, some Filipino snacks, ube cakes, which 2 of our students will pass out to everyone. Thank you so much. Are there any questions?
All right, I'll start on my left with Trustee Policarpio for any thank you. Any questions or comments?
Great presentation. I feel like I already said, but great presentation, really. I love that there's 2 completely different types of clubs that were represented today. First, to the Equality Club. I mean, the importance of, I kept hearing the words, so they feel understood, safe, and confident, and how important it is at that age in this time. Like, I can't even say how meaningful that is, that these kids are coming in and finding that feeling at this age versus having to go through the next 10 years of their life wondering who they are, who they can be safe around, and who they can tell it to. And so to know that you are allowing them to find a space where they can find their people, and those are the ones that will uplift them, and they don't have to feel alone. You're not alone, and your peers aren't alone, and you should never feel that way. And so I'm really happy that your school is giving you a place so that you don't ever feel like you're alone, because you're not. So that's amazing, and I love that you want to expand it. And the thing that the goal was that you want to meet more frequently, like that's a good sign. If the kids are telling you like, we don't do this enough, like that's amazing, that because you're obviously doing something right by providing with a space that they want to be in more. And also to teach more, because a lot of this is about education. You don't know what you don't know, and for them to feel so strongly about teaching others about how important that is to be able to contribute to being understood, safe, and confident. Just continue to do what you're doing, because that's really amazing at the school. And then to the Filipino Enrichment Club. Obviously, if you didn't know, I am Filipino, and so speaking to my little soul over here. But yeah, I think it's important, especially as, second, third generations, as we get further and further away. And, there are going to be students that come in who did immigrate from the Philippines, but there's also the students whose parents weren't born there, whose grandparents weren't born here. And it is more than just ube. It is more than just, I can't even tell you what a parole for is, but I can tell you that if you walk into Seafood City in September, you will see a Christmas tree. And if you wonder why, it's exactly what you said. It's because the Philippines start celebrating in September, and it's full of joy and food, and that's how you that's how you meet. If you don't even have food, you share what you have, because the love is formed there. So I just love that. It's Daly City. Like it makes this should be there, and it should be something that students can continue to learn and share their culture. So again, we know where it comes from. It doesn't end up just being something that it's just assumed that it's there without actually understanding where its background is. So thank you to both of these clubs for supporting your students in essentially the same ways, by allowing them to feel comfortable and being themselves. I've said a million times, middle school is hard, y'all, and you guys are making it a great place for these students to grow and learn. So thank you, because these kids are doing amazing. So thank you to all the educators there too.
Thank you.
I feel grateful. You all make me remember and give me the confidence to to stand up for public education. As Trustee Rashba mentioned earlier, school is not just about academics, right? So we're showing tonight, and you're showing us how character education is important. I really enjoyed the students talking about feeling safe and welcome at school, and also feeling like they had a place where they could go and just belong. I was really excited to see culture was the biggest word that came up on the slide, and not just food. I mean, food is important. We all love food. But where does that food come from? It comes from a culture, and it comes from, history, and it comes from whatever resources you have in your region, and all those things make a person unique. But it helps us to understand other people as well when we see them practicing their culture. I think that the thing that stands out the most to me was you talking about respect, family, and community. That's a beautiful thing to hear you talking about and expressing and exploring when you're at school. So thank you to the students and to the faculty and the staff at the school at both schools for fostering this kind of character ed. Thank you.
Yeah, I really, again, blown away by the presentations, and I want to thank the student speakers from the Equality Club and the Phil-Am Club for speaking so eloquently tonight. You really represented your groups extremely well, and your words were moving, as were the words from my fellow trustees. I completely agree with that. And, what comes to mind for me, first of all, the issue of bullying. There is no place for bullying in the JESD, and I think that groups like these are really important to preventing bullying, for giving all students a place to belong, experience joy, and feel included in the community. And that sense of belonging, there's been a lot of research that shows that the more people feel like they belong to their school, to the place where they work, the more successful that they will be. So I want to thank all the students again, their families. I want to thank Ms. Jennings, Ms. Getz, and Ms. Liano for supporting these groups and for your excellent presentations tonight. So with that, we have some certificates, and I'll start on my left.
The Certificate of Appreciation for L. Joan Bautista. And a Certificate of Appreciation for Keon Lopez.
All right, Certificate of Appreciation for Violet Spurrier. And Certificate of Appreciation for Ari Brook.
And I have a Certificate of Appreciation for Lorelei Orth. And Certificate of Appreciation for Lee Ann Anisette. All right. Well, it will be very tough to follow those excellent presentations from our students. And students and families, I'll ask you to stay for just the next section of the meeting, board member and superintendent comments, and then you'll be welcome to go home for the evening. But this is section 7A, board member acknowledgements and commendations. And I'll start on my right with Trustee Ali.
Pass.
Trustee Policarpio.
No more words.
I'll simply recognize that last week, March 4th, we had another monthly meeting of the Superintendent's Budget and Facilities Advisory Committee. I want to thank all of the members of the committee and everyone for coming and discussing the difficult issues in our district that reflect the challenging conditions and issues in public education in the Bay Area and across the state of California. And as you'll hear later tonight, our district is unfortunately dealing with a budget revenue expenditure gap as a result of declining enrollment, not as a result of the anything that the district is doing. You know, our test scores, the surveys that we're doing, results are up, but these are national factors. You know, lower birth rates, people moving out of the area, and we have you know, less population, and that affects our funding. So the representatives of the committee were doing some very difficult work of going through how can we address this, and they are creating recommendations, going through these issues, and by the end of the school year, they will make a presentation to Superintendent McCulloch. So I want to thank everybody who's on that committee. And with that, I'll turn it over to Superintendent McCulloch for her comments.
Yes, thank you. I have a few announcements for the community, but before I do that, I just want to say how proud I am to be superintendent of this district with those presentations. I think I said at the last meeting how it reminds me why I became an educator, because of the presentations, and once again tonight, you inspire me and you remind me why I do what I do. And so I continue to feel this pride of our district, and thank everyone, the students, the families, and the staff for supporting and bringing these programs, these clubs to our district so that our students can thrive. So I really appreciate it. I also noticed Ben Franklin was highly represented in the science fair or STEM fair, and so I know that we have representatives from Ben tonight. If they could take those back tonight to make sure that our students get those, and then the other students will make sure we get them to them. Also, just a few announcements next week. Next Tuesday is the spelling bee, and Miss Fiona Hansen at Ben Franklin will be coordinating that, and that is next Tuesday at 6:30. And then also next Thursday at TRP is the Future Chef competition at 3:30 in the MUR, and so that's run by Sodexo. Also, we did get a report from the County Office of Education related to budget. It's the 25-26 first interim report. It was sent to the president, Suji Saka, and just want to share a few things that they reviewed the information and they agree with our information. They said the district has submitted a positive certification, which means the district has certified it, and it will meet its financial obligations for the current fiscal year and subsequent 2 years. And based on this information known at the time, the county superintendent concurs with the district's positive certification. And then they had a few additional reminders and comments. But I want to thank our business office as well for leading that. They're going to give a presentation tonight. And then also April 1st, as Trustee Rashba said, is when our Superintendent Advisory Committee is going to come together and give me a recommendation to bring to the board, which we'll bring later in May. And that is it from me. Thank you.
Okay. Well, at this point, families are welcome to stay for the remainder of the meeting, but we certainly understand if, as tomorrow's a school night, if you would like to get on with your evening, now would be the best time to leave. And thank you again. All right. All right. Section 7C, persons wishing to address the board. This portion of the agenda is available for individuals to comment on or address the board on any issue that is under the board's jurisdiction and is not on the agenda. The maximum time allowed for any speaker is usually 2 minutes. Ms. Covray, do we have any speakers?
There are none. No.
Okay. Very good. Well, Section 8 is the consent agenda, and the administration recommends approval of the consent agenda items. This is a roll call vote. Ms. Covray, can you
Before we get to the roll call vote, we need a motion and a
I
second.
motion that we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Okay. Ms. Covray, please take the roll call vote.
Mr. Ali,
Aye.
Ms. Policarpio.
Aye.
Mr. Rashba.
Aye. The motion passes. Okay. So we are moving ahead to item 9A, resolution number 260311B, Developmental Disabilities Awareness Month. The administration recommends adoption of resolution 26-311B, recognizing the month of March 2026 as Developmental Disabilities Awareness Month. Do we have any comments on this resolution?
Yes, I just wanted to make one comment. The resolution is attached to the agenda, but this resolution recognizes the strengths and contributions of the millions of people in the United States living with developmental disabilities. We believe individuals with developmental disabilities are essential to the social and cultural fabric of our society. By adopting this resolution, it serves as a commitment to fostering inclusive, safe, and welcoming environments for all students and community members. So I recommend adopting this resolution.
Very well said. Thank you for adding that additional context on this very important resolution, recognition of Developmental Disabilities Awareness Month. Do I have a motion on the agenda item?
I motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, this is a roll call vote. Ms. Covray?
Mr. Ali,
Aye.
Ms. Policarpio.
Aye.
Mr. Rashba.
Aye. Motion passes. All right. Item 10. Yes, very worthy of applause. Item 10, Educational and Student Services. We have a Student Services update. Ms. Stephanie Martinez, Program Director for Student Services, will provide information about the district's counseling and social emotional learning practices, including student, staff, and family survey results.
Hi, good evening. Thank you for the support. I appreciate it. And I can control the slides? Oh, awesome. So, nice to see you guys again. I am excited to talk about our school counseling program as usual. This update, I really wanted to focus on the programming and then have some highlights from 2 of the settings. So I have my colleagues with me. So of course you know who I am, Stephanie Martinez, Program Director of Student Services. But if you guys could also introduce yourself and the site that you work at, and then I'll have them present on their slides in a little bit. But just so you know.
Yes, I'm Katie Getz. I'm one of the 2 school counselors at TRP Middle School.
I'm Nicole Ramirez. This is actually my 11th year in as an elementary school counselor, but my 7th year at Westlake Elementary School.
Yes. All right. So our focus in our department is not just to support students with their emotions or just to work with students one-on-one. we're really looking at a holistic approach with our programming. And we're really focused on supporting all students, not some students. And so I'm really excited for us to just highlight and spotlight some of that work today. Because we not only want students to cross the stage, graduate, be prepared for high school, but we want them to have the skills that they need in life and be able to apply it in real life experiences. And without school counselors, I know that our students would not be as prepared as they are with our school counselors in the building. So what we've been working on for the past 11 years, but beyond that, even when I was in the building, is to try to meet students where they're at, try to meet all students, and supporting the systems that exist in our buildings, but also elevating our systems to add additional supports that students need, the collaboration that our teachers and classified staff need, the leadership and working alongside that our administrators need. So we're really working alongside every part of the system and elevating it in really amazing ways. And so the model that we're delivering, the recommendation is 250 students to 1. We are fairly close to that at 302 to 1 across the district. This is our district average. It's average between middle and elementary. And the ratio doesn't have differences between high school, middle, or elementary. It's 250 to 1 is the recommendation to meet students in all tier 1, 2, and 3 levels. And so we're really moving from reactive to prevention and being proactive. I was in a reactive counselor role, and it was very difficult I did have an impact, but it was very difficult to create systemic change and impact all students. And so this is just a highlight of where we were and where we've moved from. And from me starting in this district as a counselor, I'm really proud to see where we've moved. It's taken a long time, but I couldn't do it without these. 2 colleagues behind me and those who are not present today, as well as my principals too, who support my program and the model that we're delivering. And so I disaggregated the data, taking out, last year I really updated on any touch point. This year I just wanted to focus on students. And so right now we're at, 23 plus 1,000 touch points. And these are not just check-ins, these are opportunities for students to learn the skills that they need, opportunities for students to have a safe space or to have, whether it's in the classroom, small group, or on an individual setting, to really talk about the things that they're struggling with. And so for me, this is a really impactful number, and I just wanted to, highlight that. And then moving into our tier 2, kind of touch points, I want to say we've seen every student in the building. So this year we've been able to put our data into a system that helps me disaggregate it. We did like a test run last year. This year I can see it truly from start of the year to current point. So it's really helped me see data in a really positive way. And so it was really cool to see that we've seen every student in the building that's left us and that's still here. We've also had a lot of individual sessions and group intervention sessions, and these are really critical types of services in the building. Without these type of touch points, it's just not happening. And these are just some skills that we generally teach and feel like it's something that we need to work on every year as kids navigate through relationships, their emotions. Sportsmanship has been a biggie. We have a lot of competitive athletes at recess in both elementary and middle, you guys know, and so we really work on, skills and strategies that they can use on the field, on the court, on the yard. And another thing that I wanted to highlight for us is that we are always evolving and growing with the times. So, we have been engaging in professional development since the beginning of our department building into what it is now. And so this year, I just wanted to highlight one of our fun kind of learning journeys is around neurodiversity. And I feel like it's really given us some insight on how to look at students and their differences and their commonalities as well, and is really helping us specialize the things that we're doing with them. And then there's some other things that we've been touching on with students and within our department to just help us make sure that we're covering topics that are necessary and helping students navigate through their experiences in a healthy way. And then another thing that I also facilitate in our district is our student attendance review board meetings. We do see positive outcomes from those meetings, but we also are struggling to support some of the families that have factors at play that are outside of our control. And that's been really hard to navigate this year without family liaisons. But with Luisa Santos, myself, we're really trying to do the best that we can so that we can really catch all students and resource families and support their engagement into school. But these are just some spotlights from our data this year. We are also working on climate and suspension rates, and so I was also able to pull our discipline data and look at that. As you know, I've mentioned before to the board in many past presentations, suspension isn't fixing the behavior. It's alongside. It's only done when we have to, take pause at the situation or give pause to the student, or for the students who were harmed, giving them some space to feel safe and let us know what they need in order for the other student to return. So we're really using it in a intentional way. And so we're always working on trying to find alternatives, but sometimes it has to be part of our recourse. So I wanted to highlight, though, that without our counselors doing 689 conflict resolution sessions or talks or circles, imagine what that percent would look like. And then I also wanted to take a quick spotlight. Some of the work that we've been doing with food services I started with, what can I help with making the school feel like a place that you feel safe and that you belong and you feel seen? And then I asked the question, what else can I do? And every single school talked about food. And so I then told them, I promise I'm going to work on the sense of belonging first, but I will also work on the food choices. And we've been talking about this. And so it's been really amazing to work with food services, and we've been introducing new foods. I served chicken pho last week at TRP, and it went within 5 minutes. It was so awesome, and it was so awesome to hear the kids say, like, this is from my culture. I know how to make this, and is this real, and what'd you use? And I'm like, well, I didn't make it. Like, I don't know the recipe, but I'm pretty sure it's fresh broth, I promise. Like, it was so awesome. And really cool to see their excitement. So the one thing that they gave me feedback, because I'm always asking for their feedback, is that they said, hey, when we vote and we like these food items, we want to see it on the menu. So that's our next step. But it's been really cool to see these items introduced and to see and to help the students see that what they told me made change. It wasn't just on fallen, years. I made the change. We've been working together, even though it's not my lane. I do feel like it's encouraging student voice and input on things that they're experiencing daily, like what we feed them. Okay, so with that said, I want to hand it over to some of my counselors, as you just met, to go over some middle school highlights and then elementary highlights of what the program looks in action and what they feel like they want to spotlight.
Before you do that, I would like to motion for an additional 10 minutes of time.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, please continue.
Thank you, board members. You heard me speak earlier today about my work with a select group of students, but now I want to speak to my work with the full student population. I'm really lucky to work in a school district that has such immense support for school counselors and support for the wellness needs of our students. At my school, TRP, we currently have a 1 to 286 ratio, so that's very close to the ratio that Stephanie mentioned earlier that 250 ratio. I could not do the work I do at my school without my co-counselor, Stephanie, who is not here today. As you can see, I have picked out some data of the student referrals and teacher referrals that we get. This year at our school, we have had 475 students self-refer for counseling. Some of the major concerns that they have are just a variety of emotional concerns and a lot of those friend and peer conflicts that lead us to do those restorative conferences, restorative circles to prevent fights, to prevent issues and bigger concerns. With our teacher referrals, we have to work very closely with our teachers to identify the students who aren't self-referring and who aren't coming to us with concerns. And our teachers aren't referring kids for academic concerns. They see the need for wellness and mental health support for our students. They're referring kids for things that are going on at home, for conflicts that they're noticing in the classroom, and for behaviors that they're noticing might be signs of emotional distress. A kid who's withdrawn or a kid who seems very anxious in class. So I just wanted to highlight the need that we have at our school, but also the amazing support that we have from staff. And by having two counselors, we're able to meet the needs of these students. We've met with every single student who is self-referred and every student who has been referred by a teacher. And, you know, this doesn't even include the students who come and see us just while we're out and about and say, hey, I need to talk to you, or the teacher who stops us during their prep time to say, hey, I don't have time to fill out the referral, but there's a student who needs you, or the parents who call. So this is just a small sampling of the students that we see throughout the school year. And I'll turn it over now to Nicole to talk about the elementary experience.
Wait, is it this one? You have to imagine Nicole's side. Is it not there?
It didn't pop up.
Oh, I don't have it then.
It's on the refresh version. I don't know what happened.
Okay.
But you could talk about it.
I could, but I don't remember everything
I
that's
do.
put on there.
Nicole's site has had a huge jump in school climate data this year.
I could speak to it.
There you go.
So one of the biggest things that we look at every year is we take the panorama survey. I know that we've referenced that a few times, and we'll be referencing that in a right now. And at our school, sense of belonging is one of the focuses that we look at every year, and we've never really been able to get it up to the 80%. And this year we were at, I believe, 88%, and that was one of the highest jumps. We saw a 21% increase from last year to this year. And so I wanted to highlight, I think that a big reason is because we've really driven peer solutions and a lot of buy-in from staff. As you can see, I have very supportive colleagues who are all here from Westlake. And so this year especially, we have created a kindness crew that consists, if I remember correctly, of about 28 third through fifth grade students. They meet 1 to 2 times per month, and they facilitate activities like the Great Kindness Challenge. So that's a whole week of activities and just creating more inclusion, kindness, positive school climate at school. They lead student lunch clubs. We have buddy benches on the yard, so students who are looking for a peer to play with and maybe don't have the skills quite yet. Oh, thank you, Stephanie. Don't have the skills quite yet to reach out for a friend. They can sit on the buddy bench, and those kindness crew members look and keep their eyes out and help them find a friend, or sometimes they take it upon themselves to start a game. We have also daily morning messages. So students from the kindness crew give a daily morning message. Then one of the best taglines is, make it a great day or not, the choice is yours. And so that's a great message for all of the students. We have a strong peacemaker team from 3rd through 5th grade. We have 26 students. They help students solve problems, and they create more peace, hence their name. They work with all grades, even kindergarten sometimes, and they help give them the tools of using the iMessage, the cleanup, and solving conflicts peacefully and safely, and that transfers to the classroom as well. And this year, I had the privilege of applying for a Safe School Ambassadors Grant, which was from a community schools organization, and thank you to Ms. Peterson for helping me draft an MOU, my first time doing that. And we were able to train 35 fourth and fifth grade students and 5 staff. So that included our principal, myself, my counseling intern, and our P8 and Miss Santos, who's over there. And we all lead family groups. And we spent 2 full school days getting trained on skills for how to recognize exclusion and how to invite students in and influence our friends so that they could make more powerful choices instead of bullying or other things that we often see in school. And I also was able to help facilitate a partnership with San Francisco State. We know a lot of our kids learn best with sports and athletics. I know we mentioned sportsmanship being a key focus, and so I was able to establish that partnership, and we just had our first student athletes come out on last Friday. We had the women's volleyball team come out, and they played games, and they also brought equipment, and most of our kids that wanted to play volleyball saw presence, and I saw kids that don't normally engaging in games, and Miss Ariel was there too. A lot of our teachers were. We've also really increased our Tier 1 supports. I've been able to visit every class at least once or twice a month, if not weekly. I teach SEL and other community circles for all students. And we also have a strong Tier 2 and 3 support system. So I work with, I have a small group I've represented every grade from preschool through 5th grade, as well as other systems to support social skills and friendship.
I mean, just the last plug. I mean, the growth has been great. And again, I don't think that we would see this growth without having counselors collaborating with teachers, with administrators, and working with students and advocating for them and their needs in our buildings. So this is great to see such a big jump for us this year.
Thank you for the impressive presentation. And I'd now like to ask for any questions, comments, starting on my right with Trustee Ali.
Thank you so much. I could sit here and listen to this all night. Stephanie knows this. This is the kind of work that I do. So first of all, you mentioned that you were a reactive counselor at one point, and I think that you're shortchanging yourself because maybe, you know, you were in that position at the time, but you saw something in yourself and we all saw it too, right? And so now we created that position, and, you know, the position didn't make you, you made the position. And I've seen you build your team over time. You've put these systems in place. So you're very proactive in my book, and I'm just glad that you have the team that you needed and that you like and love. And you know, I'm here to support as much as I can, and I'm just really impressed by the just the high level of impact that all of you are having. And I did notice that a lot of the power that you have was based on the students themselves. You know, you said it's peer-based, and I was detecting that through the information you were presenting. So, you know, keep doing a great job of modeling and fostering that positive behavior and showing them, you know, alternative ways. And I'm just really happy to see our students here that are, you know, pre-adolescent and, you know, early teens, and I know what kind of caliber students they'll be when they go to high school. And so I'm just really happy with the work that you all are doing. Thank you.
Well, that's amazing. I mean, that's great praise. I mean, I would be so happy to hear that too. So, man, Shaquille, I've not known you for that long, but I'm excited to know you for much longer now with everything you guys have done. But I had a quick question. What is considered a high ratio? Because when I saw 302, I was like, oh, maybe 302 is high, but you said that's actually really close. Like, what would be considered a high ratio?
Like for instance, when I was working here, I had a 1 to 1,200 ratio. I would say that's pretty high.
Yeah, just a tad, just a little bit higher.
A little.
Okay, cool. Well, that
Not to knock, you guys work really hard. Really, really hard.
yeah, 302 average, great, so good.
Oh, and Nicole, when she started, when we first started, yeah, elementary.
Dang. Well, 302 looks great then. Even this just looks better the more you guys talk. I mean, it's amazing to me that when you can say something like, I've seen every student in the building, and I think that that helps contribute to these really high numbers that we're seeing, because if you are out there and showing that you are available, the ones that are maybe nervous or scared to come up, or not feeling as though they have the opportunity, that kind of takes away that first barrier of like, you're untouchable, or I don't know if I can go to you. So to know that it's not just them going to you, but it's you also going to them and making yourselves available as someone that says, hey, can I grab you real quick? Like, I think that's amazing for you to be having those numbers, because you are opening up yourselves to be available for these students. And it's not just them having to come to you, right? It's that two-way street that we're showing. And I think that's amazing. So I love that stat. I know I didn't have this growing up and I'm a public school kid in any of my grades. And so to know that my kids are coming into this, like, I love it. Like, I love that for my kids too. And then also, I think the fact on neurodiversity isn't just one diagnosis. I think someone told me that there are maybe 11, 12. There's a lot of different ways. And so when you say you're meeting students where they are, you really are proving that and showing that. And so thank you for recognizing that, A isn't just A, there's 8.1, 8.2, or whatever it is. So again, I appreciate all the time and the effort that you do into making those distinctions. I could listen to this all day. I love this stuff. Like, I really, really love hearing it, because it's so important for kids at this age to just be able to know that they don't have to hold things in. Like, I probably held so much stuff in growing up, because who was I to have these big, ginormous feelings at, 5 or 12, but you have them. And so to know that it's okay, again, super excited for my kids. Also that you guys aren't on a 5-food rotation that I was on too. Like, it's great that they have more than, chicken nuggets at lunch 5 times a week. And then I swear, last thing, buddy benches, stop it. Like, I can't. Like, I just was imagining a child on a bench and then a big kid being like, do you want to play ball? And they're like, yeah, I want to play ball. And I think that's about it. And adding that to my daily mantra, it is a great day. It is up to me if I want to make it that or not. And so I just imagining just sitting in the mirror and being like, you know what, you got this. And that, knowing that they're doing that, like, love it for this district, love it for my kids. And so again, like, my kids are in kindergarten and TK. I say this all the time. And so they're not moving anywhere, going anywhere, because I could see that this is happening here. So thank you for my kids.
Thank you. My question was around the change you've seen over time, and I was kind of interested in was asking about the numbers, and if they've increased, decreased, but maybe that's the wrong question, hearing that, you're seeing every kid in the schools. But I'm interested in any reflections you have on, say, like the skills taught in the learning touch points. What are the changes that you've seen over time, and like what's most important, or what you might like to see, what might you'd like to see offered?
Well, data-wise, I have a feeling, I know that not all of our numbers were in when I pulled them, but we're seeing around a 12% increase in touch points from last year to this year. Like I had mentioned, we now have a database that I can pull data more easily, so that was helpful to see. And I would say, just from the presentations tonight, you can hear I had 2 counselors present, right, their groups. You could hear the vocabulary, the thoughtfulness, the connections that our students are making, and that is from these lessons. That is from these conversations. That is from them modeling these types of ways of thinking, ways of being in touch, ways of being in tuned, ways of being aware of their community. I wouldn't say that kind of communication existed when I first started here. So I see it, and I thank my elementary team, because we see it in middle school. And I'm sure you hear it as board when you see students talking. They are sounding different in our district, right? And so that for me, is the perfect example of the work working. That's what I have to say, but anything else? It's like the students. It took a lot for them to be here, and it means so much that they are, but if anything else or no?
I just think kids just need to be heard and need to feel heard. What I'm noticing is since we spend a lot of time behind technology, kids need that in-person interaction, and that's where we see the struggle the most. There's a lot of impulsivity, and just being able to regulate yourself and calm down and coexist with each other and get to know each other, because we tend to send a lot of texts and messages and not really have that face-to-face or being able to understand body language. So those are some things that I'm seeing at my school, and I've seen across the district, but especially since we've come back from the pandemic.
And something that I'll add, I came to this district last year from out of state, and I really see a difference here from other schools that I've worked at. I've worked at schools where kids don't have the skills to cope, and I'm running after kids, and they're eloping from the classroom, or there's fights every day, and it's just not like that here. And it's because of the work that's being done at the elementary schools. It's because of the work being done just site-wide at middle schools, not just from the counseling department. So there is a big difference.
Yeah. I did think of a question that I should have thought of before, so forgive me. But could you just talk a tiny bit about what your vision is for youth that are in foster care or involved with juvenile justice system?
Like what do you mean by our vision? Like what we hope for them? I mean, I hope that they have a community that they feel safe in, adults that they can trust, and the support that they need to navigate through the hard transition that they're going through. We do have supports for them. The counselors serve as the maybe case manager, if you will, for those students, and we do try to resource them and make sure that they don't feel any different as much as we can, than their peers. But yeah, that would be our vision for them, and we know that we're a critical part of the system that supports them, and we do hold space for them, whenever they ask or need. But students who are maybe going down the path of getting into trouble, same thing, I've always said, I always remember I'm working with children. This is the time that they're going to make mistakes. This is a time that they're learning how to live life. And what safer place can it be done than at schools with a bunch of adults who really care about kids and really want the best for them. And so that's my vision for kids who struggle in our system, because it's not easy for all students, and I'm very aware of that. And so just seeing the potential in every student is how we kind of drive our daily work.
Thank you.
And I just had three reflections. First of all, the work that you've done to, as you say, move to reactive to proactive. That's not easy, because this is one of the worst states for funding counseling, and all just one of the highest ratios of adults and professionals in schools of any state. And so, everybody has a difficult job, but particularly kids who are struggling, and the work that you're doing across schools. So just thank you for doing that. And it doesn't come, as building on what Trustee Ali said, without really strong leadership. So thank you, Ms. Martinez, for doing that. It also just strikes me that this work is so holistic that, you talked about school meals, you talked about, different activities, you talked about attendance, which is really important for the finances of this district, and obviously interfacing with our teachers. So this work is so tied in, deeply with everything going on in the schools. And the last thing is just for the administration officials here, I'd like to see a way of having these ideas really replicated formally, or at least presented throughout the district. Kindness Club, I know we heard that presentation, and I know that is something that you're endeavoring to do, but the Kindness Club, the community service work, the affinity groups is something that I think we should try to replicate at many schools. It may not work at every school, but we have a really good model in place, so it'd be great to see that at all of our schools. So
They are at almost all of our schools, I would say. And
thank you. That's great.
yeah, we like to have students have similar opportunities and experiences, and so that's part of our department work, is having similar types of programming at every single site, teaching the same lessons, having the same types of interventions that we respond to. So yes, I believe we have Kindness Club, which started at SBA, I believe, and now it's everywhere. It's worldwide. Inclusion Club looks a little different at our other middle schools, but I would say we have a space for everyone at every school. Buddy benches, that's also something that's very common. So yeah, a lot of the things that we talked about are at every school.
That is great to hear. I'm glad you are ahead of us. Wonderful. Well, thank you so much again for that terrific presentation.
Thank you.
All right. Item 11A, Resolution 26311C, adoption of a fee justification study and the increase in school facilities fees and adoption of QECA notice of exemption. The administration recommends adoption of board resolution number 26311C, the adoption of a fee justification study and the increase in school facilities fee, the level 1 fee, and adoption of QECA notice of exemption. The proposed fees are authorized by Education Code Section 176. Do I hear a motion on this resolution?
I wanted to ask a question first.
Sure.
So I was just wondering how this fee, how does this fee affect our long-term plans for, right sizing the district and getting our finances together?
Yes, so I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Peterson to share.
Thank you for the question. So the proposed developer fee adjustment does help the district maintain and modernize facilities over the long term. While we do currently have a surplus of more than 3,300 empty seats in our district, trying to fix this, enough to meet projected enrollment over the next 15 years. These fees do provide important funding. They add to our funding to repair aging buildings and upgrade safety and technology systems so our schools remain safe, modern, and ready for the use of future students.
Thank you. I'd like to make a motion that we approve this.
Second.
This is a roll call vote. Ms. Kovaray?
Mr. Ali?
Aye.
Ms. Policarpio?
Aye.
Mr. Rashba?
Aye. The motion passes. Item 11B, the 2025-26 second interim budget review. Ms. Josie Peterson, Assistant Superintendent of Business Services, will present highlights of the 2025-26 second interim financial report for the period ending January 31st, 2026. The administration recommends that the Board of Education review the second interim, approve the filing of positive certification of financial condition, approve the revision to the working budget to correspond with the projected year totals.
Thank you. Here's just a summary of what we'll be presenting tonight. First, I want to give you an update on the governor's January proposal for the next school year, 2026. His COLA projection for next year is 2.41%. There is also an increase in the base funding for special education. Now, that funding flows through our County Office of Education, so we do not yet know what that increase is. As soon as we get updates from the county, we'll be able to provide that information. He's also proposing one-time funds. That's kind of what's been happening over the last few years. Is there isn't a lot of ongoing funds. A 2.41% COLA is pretty low with the amount of cost increases we're facing. So he doesn't propose ongoing increases in ongoing funding, but one-time funds. And so he's proposing to add to the current student support and professional development discretionary block grant. It's about $2.3 million for our district. And then he's also proposing to add funding to the Learning Recovery Emergency Block Grant funds, which were one-time funds we received during COVID and kind of sunset last year. He did add a little bit more last year and is proposing more funding. And then again, the kitchen equipment and infrastructure training grant, it's not a lot of funding, but it has been going on for several years, and it really has helped our food service program with additional training and buying more equipment for the kitchens. So other than the COLA, we're not including these other budget proposals in the presentation tonight. When you see the multi-year, we do include the 2.41% COLA. So what is the second interim? We just finished our first interim, which you heard the county has reviewed, and Ms. McCulloch did read that letter. The second interim is another snapshot in time. It's the actuals as of January 31st, and then we project forward from there. It does include the multi-year financial projections for the 2 subsequent years. It includes any budget adjustments and any new revenues that became available, revised salary expenditures, which is based on our salary increases, and other adjustments to expenses. And here we are in the budget cycle at second interim. The next step will be to close the books in September. We'll have our unaudited actuals, and at the same time, our auditors are currently here auditing our books, and they present the audit report in January, and then we start the cycle all over again. We're currently going to be starting the cycle for next year's adopted budget for 26-27. Oops, did I go too fast? I did. And then reporting requirements, we are, again, certifying a positive budget certification, which means we will meet our financial obligations for the current year and the 2 preceding fiscal years. So looking at revenues, there really wasn't a lot of changes from first interim. There wasn't a significant amount of change. The LCFF did have a small increase of about $50,000, which was due to improvements in our attendance. And then there was about $100,000 increase in special education funding through that source as well. Federal revenues make a small portion of our budget. The increase is due to adjustments from the federal government for Title I. They update the allocations periodically. Other than other state revenues was very small. It was a prior year special education revenue. The largest change was in local revenues. We oftentimes budget these revenues as received. The biggest one was the United for Youth grant, and then donations from all the schools, we don't count those until they're received. When you look at our pie chart, you can see we're highly dependent on our LCFF funds. It's 73% of our funding. We're highly dependent on the state. Federal revenues is less than 4%, other state revenues 20%, and then our local revenue, which is mainly comprised of our parcel tax and donations. We're very fortunate to this community for passing our parcel tax and extending the parcel tax at a higher rate. When you look at expenditures from the first interim to second interim, there again is not a lot of changes. Expenditures are 73% of mainly employee costs. That's our staff, salaries and benefits. Our budget does include the salary increases. We have a 2% salary increase that went back to July retroactively, and then additional 1% in January is included. The rest of the budget is 20% services and operations, which is The big portion is our expanded learning opportunity program and ACES contracts, special education services, utilities, insurance, and other operational costs. Books and supplies is a very small portion, 6% of our budget. There was an increase in capital outlay, which was due to the TRP safety project and the HVAC replacement at John F. Kennedy. The other category is called Other Outgo. It's a small percentage of our budget, and what that is the cost that we pay to the County Office of Education for special education services that they provide to our students. Contributions. This is a big portion of our budget, and there's two categories that we are required to contribute from our unrestricted LCFF funds, and the first one is special education. Special education, it makes up about 20% of our budget. It's about $20 million because we have about a $99 million budget. We contribute $13 million to special education because it is severely underfunded by both the federal and state government. That's not uncommon in California and even more so in San Mateo County. There just is not sufficient funding for the needs of our students. The other requirement is that we contribute 3% of our budget to what's called the Routine Restricted Maintenance Account, and so that's taking unrestricted dollars, and that is to fund the maintenance of our facilities. There is not a specific revenue source from the state to cover the maintenance of our facilities. Here's our multi-year projections, and it's, the whole packet is included, but this is the summary page. And so what we're including in our multi-year for revenues is for 26-27, the 2.41% COLA from the state, and for 27-28, a 3.06% COLA. Now, we're also including our employee step and column, which is 1.5%. We do have a salary increase already agreed upon for July, and that's 1.1%. We are exceeding the projected COLA not only with our salary and benefit costs, but with the increases in our operations. All of the utilities and insurance and contracts, those also have increases. So again, the state is not adequately funding education. We continue to project deficit spending. It's approximately $7 million in this current fiscal year and also next fiscal year. And in order to maintain our 3% reserve in the third fiscal year, I know it's very small, you can't see it, I didn't make a big summary sheet, but on the top left, there is a $6.8 million transfer from Fund 20, which is the fund that we established to fund our retiree benefits, and that is in the third year. Now, the third year is difficult to project. These are conservative projections. We're using the governor's COLAs, but at this time, without any budget reductions built into our budget, we are transferring funds from the retiree benefit fund, and we do continue to deficit spend. Again, one of the things is we do not have any budget reductions built in. That's something that, as you know, the superintendent's facility and budget committee is working on, is making some recommendations to our district on how we can make some of those budget reductions. The next couple slides are our other funds, and there really isn't much change from first interim. On this one, I'd just like to highlight deferred maintenance. The state does not provide any funding for deferred maintenance. They used to provide funding prior to the LCFF formula, and so that is up to our district to budget funds from the general fund to fund deferred maintenance. The next page is additional funds. The one I'd like to highlight here is the building fund. We are just about finished spending our bond funds, so we will no longer have this will be the final year of bond funds. And also we have the capital facilities developer fees, the item that the board just approved to increase those fees. Most years we don't really collect much, it's just maybe $100,000. This past year we did receive $620,000 because there was a large development near Westlake. And so that's pretty much the presentation. The next steps is we are beginning our LCAP and our budget process for 26-27. We'll start working on that April through May and bring that to the board. We're waiting for the governor's May revision, and we'll use his projections for our budget adoption, and we have our LCAP budget hearings and adoption dates there. The final state budget will likely not be determined by the time we bring our budget to the board. So we will bring our best information at that time, and then we will revise the budget later at first interim. So again, the Superintendent's Facilities and Advisory Committee is working very hard this year to make recommendations, and they should be coming to the superintendent within the next month with their recommendations that we can then share with the board. Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you for the presentation. Let me start on my left. Trustee Policarpio, any questions, comments?
No, I don't think so. I'm happy to see we're going for positive again, so.
Thank you.
Trustee Ali.
No questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. So the question I have is around revenue growth. You know, the members of the committee, of course, want to see revenues maximizing, growing as much as possible, preferable to expenditure cuts. But so the United for Youth grant, I refreshed my notes and saw that Ms. Martinez led the way in securing that grant, so I want to thank her for that. But my question for you and the administration is just about how easy, what's the process of finding, grant opportunities? How easy, difficult is it, and how replicable would we be able to find grant funding?
Do you have an answer? I can answer as well.
You can go ahead.
I was just going to say that many times the San Mateo County Office of Education is the main source for finding grants. Sometimes you can do a search on the California Department of Education, and there's grants there, but usually the county office is alerted to them, and then we're given information. Grants are really hard to account for in our ongoing budget because they're usually for short term. Sometimes 1 year, sometimes 3 years, sometimes 5 years, but then it goes away. So it's hard to include that in an ongoing budget. You kind of see it as more one-time funds. But those are usually alerted to us through the County Office of Education and through connections that, through our community partners that we hear about that way. Do you have anything you want to add?
And just that they are likely, oftentimes competitive, and sometimes dependent on your unduplicated counts being very high. It's a very competitive process to obtain some of those grants. And also, Jen just received another grant this week, an expanded learning opportunity in addition to the expanded learning opportunity grant that she applied for. So we'll be including that in our next budget update.
We just got the information emailed today.
Great. Well, yep. I want to thank everybody in the district for finding these opportunities, for applying, and for continue to be successful with them. I just wanted to note $110,000 in donations. That is very good. It's hard, to raise money, but we're doing that at our individual school sites. And just to mention, the Kids First Education Foundation is a great way for people in our community who want to get involved, support the district. The foundation is raising money for the highest priorities of our district, so we certainly hope to see that grow. And as Trustee Policarpio said, wonderful to hear of the positive certification of the budget. That is not true with every budget in this area in the state. So I want to thank you, Assistant Superintendent Peterson and Superintendent McCulloch and everybody at the district for your hard work in making that possible. Any other questions? Comments? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. We need a motion to approve the second interim budget. Do I hear one?
I approve this motion. Is that what I say? Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, the motion passes. Great. So item 12A, certificated personnel, certificated retirement. The administration recommends approval of the retirement request from Susan Perkins, second grade teacher at Westlake Elementary, and requests, and that's effective June 6, 2026, and requests an appropriate resolution be prepared commending her for her many years of service with the district. Ms. Perkins has been employed by JESD since August 31st, 1990. Does anyone have any comments? Yes.
Every time I want to congratulate Susan, 36 years. That's quite a while. And, you know, I saw the whole crew from Westlake, of course, now I thought they were all here for that too. I didn't know it was for that. But just to thank her for her years of service. It's a lot of work being in a classroom, much less for 36 years. So her dedication to our district and her students is clear, and I just want to wish her the best of luck in her next part of her life. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Marquez Valente. With that, do I hear a motion on this?
I move that we approve the retirement of Ms. Perkins.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The motion passes. All right. Item 13, Board Policies Administrative Regulations, the November 2025 CSBA Board Policy Updates. In the first reading, the board will review and revise board policies, administrative regulations, board bylaws from November 2025, CSBA Board Policy Updates as stated in the first reading. Any comments or questions? Okay. Do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. All right. We are at item 14, which is governance team member comments, reports, future agenda items, and board meeting reflections. And I will start on my right with Trustee Ali.
Thank you. I did attend some of the basketball games this weekend at Bayshore Community Center, right up the street from where I grew up. So that was great to watch them compete. We talked about athletics and sports tonight. You know, I encourage all of our students to try sports, play games, learn how to work with their teammates, learn how to win, learn how to lose. All those things. And sports and games are metaphors for life and how we can approach our life challenges. And I would also like to just once again commend all the people that participated in the STEM fair. Thank you to the students, teachers, and organizers. What we saw tonight reflects the curiosity, creativity, and problem-solving skills that our students are developing across the district. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Policarpio.
I love today. Today was great. There's just a lot of good things in from financials to counseling to the students and everything that they're doing. So nothing more other than this place is great.
Thank you. Well, I concur with both of you about the importance of athletics and everything we're doing here, and just how wonderful that presentations were tonight. The STEM fair winners and organizers, very inspiring, as were the presentations from Ben Franklin, from TRP, and from Westlake and other schools, SBA, other schools represented here tonight. Thank you very much for being here. And with that,
Before you move on, actually, I forgot to, as you spoke about sports, tomorrow there is the girls soccer championship at TRP, between TRP and Ben Franklin at 3:30. So
3:30 where?
At TRP.
At TRP.
So just want to point out and to thank the coaches and all the students for getting to that level at all the schools.
Counselors may have to implement some of that learning with this sportsmanlike conduct over here. A buddy bench, yeah, please get them a buddy bench.
Also, I wanted to, it's kind of controversial because I'm announcing something that's happening at the same time as our spelling bee. But there is going to be a reopening and a launch of the Daly City Youth Health Center. It's reopening as the name Youth Point Health. And this is very important because, excuse me, these are services that any youth in San Mateo County can utilize. And there's been confusion in the past because of the name, Daly City Youth Health Center, but the center is for all youth in San Mateo County. So we've changed the name to Youth Point Health, and the rebranding event is going to be the same night as our spelling bee.
Tuesday, March 17th will be an important night. So wonderful to hear about all these important and exciting things across our district. So with that, I'm on item 15, person wishing to address the board on closed session items. This portion of the agenda is available for individuals to comment on or address the board on an item addressed in closed session. The maximum amount of time allowed for any speaker is usually 2 minutes. Ms. Covere, do we have any speakers? Okay. Hearing none, I am going to close this meeting with a moment of silence, and we adjourn in memory of Libia Bertha Curolo Croce, who is the grandmother of Itala Portal, student information specialist in the special education department. (8:56), the meeting is adjourned.
We're
And
going into
we
closed
goes
session.
8:56, we convene to closed session.
Thank you.
And we'll have a 5-minute recess.